Bob, you look back at the second quarter, end of the second quarter, I thought that was such a pivotal moment of the Dartmouth game. You know, they have the ball inside the 10, and your defense, I thought, came up with a critical stand. Now, obviously, the missed field goal helps, but still, it's at worst a 5-point game at that point. How important was that moment for your whole team? Not just the defense, but I mean the whole team going into halftime.
Yeah, well, before I do that, Craig, today starts Thank Your SID Day. So Thank Your SID Week, I should say. And
I don't think that's a real thing.
I just want to hashtag Thank Your SID. So I just want to thank you guys, and all the information we get out has just been outstanding, and everything else. It's just awesome what we're doing, and really enjoy that. But yeah, that was a huge stand. That was, you know, in these close games, there's these gut-wrenching moments, and you got to win enough of them. And we were fortunate enough to win enough of them, and we earned it. It wasn't just fortune. You know, our guys worked really hard and won a few more than they did, and that's why the outcome, you know, flipped from previous years when we didn't.
You know, I thought that we had talked, and we saw it on Saturday. They have a massive offensive line, senior-laden, big, talented, and they won their fair share of battles. But I thought there were times where you were able to get enough pressure out of the pocket to kind of throw them off just enough. And I thought that third down play was an example where they kind of forced Kyler out of that pocket a little quicker than I'm sure he wanted, and you know, you end up throwing that ball away.
Yeah, whether it's in the run game, you know, winning the line of scrimmage, or causing just a slight disruption in the pass game, those things are huge, and it's going to be the equal challenge. The Yale line is almost equally the same size, equally physical, and they are, I believe, where they're at right now as a pass pro group, the best pass pro group we've seen by far all year this year.
If we move to that game, then, you know, they have that line, and, you know, you thought you had an all Ivy level quarterback in Nate Rawlings at the start of the season. Kurt Rawlings, excuse me, at the start of the season. He goes down, and then whatever happened last weekend with the freshman Everson Griffin, those are astronomical numbers.
Griffin O'Connor.
You got
Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
You got the Minnesota Vikings on your mind. Yeah, no, Griffin O'Connor, it wasn't just his arm strength and accuracy, you know, things that you see on high school video that he is exceptional at. It was his poise. He looked like a fifth-year senior with the poise and just how he managed the offense and made the right decisions, and he's got a quick release, and every ball was on time and it was on target, and he did it play after play after play. And when you add that to the receiving group they have, which is exceptional, when your backup running back is Zane Dudek, who was, second, third, whatever, for last year's Player of the Year, and your starting running backs, you know, Alan Lamar, and your third string is Spencer Austin, that is, you know, you don't get much better than that at any level of college football in a run game.
The two receivers I thought were interesting because there's been so much talk about the advantage for Princeton to have, you know, a Jesper Horsted on one side and a Steve Carlson on the other, and Yale has that same exact advantage. Their numbers are strikingly similar between their top two and your top two. What kind of receivers are they, you know, and how do they, especially because a lot of people know about the Yale run game, but those two in particular, what kind of receivers are they?
They're very similar to our guys in that they're precise route runners. They have great hands. They can beat you intermediately. They can beat you deep. They make, I mean, they're on ESPN last week making a one-hand catch. And it's not just the one-hand catches. It's the culmination of the 600-700 plays they've been in this year, play after play. Their ability to get open and catch the football and make extra yards after the catch. I mean, and it's a great compliment. You know, our guys were both all Ivy last year to say, you know, this group of receivers is, you know, that level.
It seems like this may be the most balanced offense you'll see in the Ivy League this year. I mean, we've seen really good run teams. We've seen teams that pass the ball a lot. But does this one kind of bring the highest level of both into a game?
Yeah, I believe on the year they're right at like 50-point-something% run and 49-point-something% pass. I mean, it is entirely balanced, and they've done it having, they've had some injuries and they continue to overcome them. Obviously, they got the best win in the non-conference win in the league with the win over Maine, and they destroyed them. It wasn't even close. Like, you see a team that has outstanding talent, scheme, they're a physical team. It is equally, in terms of challenges, the challenges that we faced.
Earlier this season, you saw a couple teams put up some bigger numbers against the Yale defense. The last 3 weeks now, all three opponents under 20. One time, obviously they had some struggles in the offense and lose a game 17-10, but it seems like defensively they're clicking right now.
Yeah, they graduated, a couple NFL players, right. And they graduated a lot of, some of their, more guys on defense from an Ivy League championship team and a bunch of all Ivy guys. And you're seeing these younger or early in the year guys that maybe didn't have as much experience. They got speed on the back end. They're physical and explosive in the front seven. This is a tremendous defense, and they're peaking, as you said, right now.
You don't need any more reason to get juice into a Princeton-Yale game, but Yale's going to have a lot of alums back to honor Carm Koza that day. I know you never coached against him, but you played in the Ivy League, so you know. What's your memories of Carm Koza?
Yeah, and being recruited by him and Seb Laspina, sitting in my house and eating pasta, and him and both of them telling stories. And Seb's daughter worked for me at Western Connecticut. Just wonderful people, class acts. When he was doing the games on the radio, he would always catch me before the game, and we'd have a great conversation. He's a legendary figure in this league, and one of the all-time great coaches, if not the all-time great coach from this league.